Okay, we're going to do a quick demonstration on how to create a graph from your responses in this project. So the idea here is to have a question that can separate the data into two groups, and we're maybe not sure exactly how we're going to separate those. So having a continuum of for yes or no, instead of saying yes or no, do you listen to music? This allows us to maybe separate I only have 14 responses, but to cut my data in exactly half, you can click here and you can find out, well, never is half, and then everyone else is the other half. So I'm going to end up separating. Now you need 60 responses, so hopefully I'll get better results. But I'm going to separate my data in people that said never and everyone else. And so what we want is actually not these these charts here. We want to create some new graphs in Excel or in a spreadsheet. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create a little table that's just going to summarize the people in the two groups. And so we're going to make two columns, one for never and one for everyone else. And then we're going to make categories. And so our categories are going to be 15 seconds. So we're just going to copy and paste these over. 30 seconds, just make sure we get them all. And we put them in order as well, so our bars show up in order. 60 seconds, around 1 minute. Oh, that is 60 seconds. Around 1.5 minutes, around 2 minutes. So these are all approximate numbers. People don't really, not everyone knows exactly how long, but and more than 2 minutes. And so then the next thing you do is to figure out how many of the never group are in each one of these. What we can do is pull them out, just the data that says never. And so to do that, if we highlight the column that we want to separate and click Data Filter, what it'll allow you to do is check off just the ones that you want. So if we wanted never, sometimes, and rarely all together, then we could do that. Then what you do is, rather than just, you can count them up now, but you're still going to have, like if you had 500 data points, you wouldn't want to do that. Even with 60, you probably don't want to just count them one by one, but you can go through and just kind of, as you count them, you can delete them, make a tally, and then just make sure that you add up to the number of nevers. But the spreadsheet also has a function called COUNTIF. You can say COUNTIF, and we can highlight the data you want to count, and you can count it if it's around 15 seconds, and hit enter. Then you can do that for every time, like equals COUNTIF, highlight the data that you want, and then click comma, and then if it's equal to this, it'll count it. And so there's one of those, and then you can do it again. Spreadsheets also have a function. If you hit $sign before the letter and $sign before the number, it will fix it so that if you copy it down, it won't change that highlighted section. We do want this number to change because we want it to be there. And so if I copy that down, then it will. You can see it's going to keep B20 to B26. It can keep counting the same range, but it's going to change why it's counting it. So we can do that. And then for the everyone else category, we can click off everyone else and hit OK. And take this group. Oh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thought we had more than that. I'm just going to turn the, oh yeah, it's up there. Okay, so then the other 7 people are these people. We can kind of put that column beside it. And then do the exact same thing, count if, and this is just really helpful if you have a lot of data. You don't actually have to count it every time. And then we put $signs around. If you don't want to do the $sign thing, that's fine. You just have to highlight it every time. You have like 6 categories to do it for. But at least it's nicer than actually having to count it yourself. So D19, and then it's going to just check the last one, make sure it worked. Yeah, it's counting this C column from 20 to 26, and then if it's D24, which is what we want. So now to actually insert your charts, you can highlight them, highlight the data, and click Insert Chart. It should come up with a nice chart to work with. Just comparing the Never group is the blue, and everyone else is the red. So it's a really nice chart for comparison. Again, I only have 14 data points, so it doesn't tell you a lot, but you can kind of see that that really there's probably no relationship with music and brushing your teeth. Just from these 14 people, we might get better results if we surveyed much more people.